Hey, how's it going, you guys? It's petplatypus here, and it's time to review The Legend of Korra, Season 4, Episode 2. I was going to say Zuko Alone. It was Korra Alone, a reference to Zuko Alone, an episode in the second season of the original Last Airbender, which is awesome. And, yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing of this episode is definitely, as far as just like a reveal, it's Toph, obviously. But that's not the most important part of this episode, obviously. The most important part of this episode is Korra's character development, seeing what happened over the course of the 6 months and even the 3 years total, what she was going through. And I was wrong when I said, oh, she's just in a wheelchair for a while, it's probably just because her body's weak from the poison. No, she pretty much couldn't walk. I mean, I guess it was still her body being weak, but like she had more support in her arms than she did her legs. So I don't know if she was like totally paraplegic or what, but she's trying to learn how to walk again, and she's with Katara, and it's cool to see Katara talking about Aang and everything. And there's actually a couple of different Aang references in this episode, which I thought were cool. The funny one I'll get to in a minute, but except I didn't talk about it later. I meant to talk about that scene with the fish salesman and the picture of Aang. I said I was going to talk about it later in the review, and I totally didn't, so I'm just going to cut this in right now. It was really funny, just seeing Aang with like the pose and everything. He's making the little thing spin and just how he like impresses people and shit. That was really funny. Okay, back to the original recording. Yeah, she's getting healed and trying to learn how to walk, and she's getting better, but when she tries to actually go into combat, she starts seeing Zahir and the poisoning, and she just freezes up and gets her ass kicked every time. And it's definitely interesting because, this never happened to her before, and it's like I said during my season, I think it was the first episode of this season, but I was talking about the last season, is how she's the Avatar, and we see her talk about how she needs to be out helping people, and it shouldn't be Kuvera, and it shouldn't be the Airbenders, it should be me, because I'm the Avatar, and now she feels useless. And I think it's the best possible route you could have taken this character, because it's so different from Aang, where Aang was, I don't want to be the Avatar, but I have to. With Katara, or not Katara, with Korra, it's, I want to be the Avatar, and I want to do it, and I suck at it, or I can't do it right now, and it's like the opposite, which I think is really interesting. And she's been the opposite of Aang for like all the seasons, but it's very interesting in this season. She's seeing images of the Avatar state everywhere she goes when she's on her journey of self-discovery and everything, and it definitely has this threatening presence to it when you see it standing there. And she cuts her hair like Zuko did. Zuko didn't do that in the episode Zuko Alone, though. He did that like in the premiere of season 2. But she cuts her hair and she's going around. She ends up in those fighting, which actually her Avatar state led her to that, so that was kind of weird. She goes to the spirit world and she's just trying to figure everything out on her own. And you'd think the answer is going to be you need help from someone else, but she's tried having help from someone else and it didn't work, so yeah. Then she loses at the fighting thing. She goes and finds a dog. The dog leads her to a swamp. Now, we don't know what this swamp is. We don't know if this swamp is the swamp from the original Last Airbender that's all mythical, or, mystic and everything, or if this is just a regular swamp. But either way, the dog that led her there was one of the spirits she met in the spirit world when she went to the tree, and she ends up meeting Toph, like I said before, but she also gets in a fight with her Avatar spirit, and what it's hinting at is that only she can see the Avatar spirit part of her, except for the little dog saw it, but that's probably because it was a spirit itself. She gets in a fight with it, though, which is weird, because, okay, she thinks it's attacking her, so she's going to react, but it was actually pulling down on her leg with the chains. That was interesting. And she sees like a puddle of the poison, and it's just like, that has to be so psychologically damaging for her. And that's really the main thing, too, is she was physically damaged, but the psychological damage is tremendous. And then she meets Toph, and that's where the episode ends. And I thought it was a really good episode. It showed really good character development. It had really good story progression as seeing what happened to her over the course of the 3 years. And yeah, and the animation was, of course, amazing. Little pieces of comedy were, funny when they were there. So, yeah, I'll probably give this episode a 8.5 out of 10. That was really, really good. And, yeah. So, I will thank you guys for watching. Tell me what you guys thought of this episode of Korra in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.